Welcome back to the MLG Play 2000 series. Coming up next, we actually have another round 2 matchup. It's going to be UNiTE Gaming versus Empire. And if UNiTE win this match and Envy win their match, it's going to be UNiTE versus Envy in the next round.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a matchup everybody wants to see. And right now, we see UNiTE, they're playing with Saints instead of Parasite. So, we've seen a lot of fill-ins today, so it'll be interesting to see how all these teams mesh when they start playing against each other. It'll come down to, I think, the chemistry with who they got filling in.
Yeah, so the only thing you lose with Saints for Parasite is the ability for Parasite to rotate to the anchor. Saints doesn't really play that role. He's strictly a aggressive submachine gun player, but he could rack up a lot of kills. Like, I've seen this dude drop 30s, 40s, even get close to that 50 kill mark.
Yeah, and I mean, he's just a super aggressive slayer with his SMG. And, you know, talking about teamwork, it really doesn't seem like they're going to have much of an issue because I believe Saints was actually teaming with Nameless and Ricky before they picked up Parasite.
Not only that, these group of players are always playing 8, so they have an idea of how they play, or they have some sort of communication there. However, the one thing I don't like about the 8s group is, you know, sometimes you see these wacky classes come out and they think that, hey, if these work in 8s, they might work in an actual 4-on-4 match.
Yeah, you know, I really, when I played, I really hated doing stuff like 8s, to be honest, because I think
it's a great way just to, you know, stay warmed up.
Yeah, it's a good way, I guess, to warm up and, you know, keep playing against good players. But you end up starting to get used to how people you play with in 8s play. So then you start playing a little differently when you get back with your team, and sometimes that messes up a little chemistry. You're expecting one person to do one thing and they're going to play it a different way, and it just kind of throws things off a little bit.
Although you do learn some good tendencies in 8s.
Yes.
Like, one thing you always learn in 8s is juggling the hard points, since, you know, generally people look at stats a lot in 8s. So if you always have a high kill death ratio, you're going to be juggling the hard point, trying to get as many streaks as you can. And, you know, that just, you see it with players like Rose as well, where once the hard point gets contested, he is so quick with juggling that hard point, and it usually pays off in the end because he's so familiar with being in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Rose on this stream hundreds of times already. I mean, that guy is just, he's juggles phenomenally, and he's just dominant.
Yeah, he's so good with the submachine gun, but now he's going to be on the collapse lineup. I believe they are playing in this tournament, but we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I think they are playing today, so it'll be interesting to see if we can catch one of their games today and see how they're working with Silly instead of Study now.
And, you know, we're going to be watching Killa off the start here, but keep in mind, Killa, I think he has carpal tunnel in his wrist, so playing for long periods of time, he can't really do that anymore. It's going to hurt. Yeah,
and, you know, he's coming out rocking a submachine gun with, it looks like no tacticals, and he's just going to be using extreme conditioning and flak jacket right now, and he's just going to be controlling the hard point, picking up 2 huge kills.
So 2 kills already for Killa, and actually, production, if we could switch to the game screen, that'd be fantastic to show the fans what they're here to watch. So Killa's still on your screen here, but you also got Ricky. He's on a 3 kill spree, and Ricky, he's such a great positional player. Whenever you get him in a power position on the map, he's gonna hold it for a good amount of time.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not a player who's gonna make ridiculous plays. But, you know, he's always in the perfect spot. He's always picking up kills, and he's just a great overall player. I mean, he's somebody like you would want on your team because he's so consistent.
And not only that, he's a guy that doesn't die often, and that's probably the best trait an anchor player could have, is just not dying.
Don't die. We said it about BL Fire the other night. We were like, well, what is he going to have to do to succeed against Complexity and Clayster? And we basically said, just don't die. Yeah. Just stay alive. And
he did that.
Yeah, we saw him. Yeah, we saw him. He stayed alive for those extra few seconds. And I mean, it sounds kind of dumb that an extra few seconds makes that much of an impact. But when your teammates are pushing out and then they're respawning instantly, pressing that X button, that extra second can determine them spawning next to you or across the map.
And especially in Call of Duty, it's such a game. It's a game of seconds. I mean, especially in Hardpoint, every second counts. You know, you've seen games determined by whoever gets that extra second in the hardpoint. You know, whoever rotates an extra second, it could determine the winner of a game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, those early rotations. I mean, you can. It's smart plays to just give up 10 or 15 seconds to get an extra 30 or 40, and, you know, that's what I think separates a lot of these pro teams from some of these other teams. I mean, obviously, I mean, the pros are extremely talented, just all over skills, but just their teamwork and just overall knowledge of when to rotate and how to push to certain things really separates them.
And we were talking about this a bit earlier, but Call of Duty, it's such a fast-paced game, and whenever you kind of get caught up in the moment, and you don't, some teams, especially some of the amateur teams who aren't as experienced as some of the pros, they don't really have that composure to you know, when there's a whole lot of action going on, focus on the small things like, hey, you know, now there's only 30 seconds. Let's get ready to rotate. This might be our last push. So.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just with pro gaming in general, even besides Call of Duty. I mean, there are some times where you just feel like the game is moving so much faster than it actually is. You know, you're just rushing everything, and you just become disoriented and just unorganized. And that's when you really just need to. The more you play with better players, the slower the game will feel. And once you get that really like where the game's actually moving super fast, but it feels like it's moving slow, that's when you really can do some damage.
And now let's take a look at the state of the game right now. As UNiTE Gaming, they've just crossed the 100-second mark. They're currently up by around 80 points on their opponent. As Saints, he's going to be pulling out a shotgun here for the church hardpoint. And this is without a doubt the gun you want for this. But I've been waiting for someone to pull out an assault shield and plant it on top of the staircase so no one could walk in through there.
You know, he's got I want to see that too, because that would actually be hilarious to watch. But his shotgun, he has no toughness on it, which it's not too bad for class, because with the shotgun, I mean, when you get shot from a distance or something like that, you're really not going to do much damage back. So, and there's not really any flinch with it anyway, so you might as well just not rock toughness and just take those extra grenades.
And Saints leads the way into the hardpoint, does pick up the initial kill, switches to the B-23R. I think he was actually trying to pick up the shotgun, but he's got some time to work with here. You see that no one is really threatening for the time being. All he's got to do is watch his hop up as his teammates have his stairs covered, and with that shotgun, able to find one, switching out to the SMG, back to his shotgun, finds the kill, earns himself some score streaks. Saints, he's going to secure UNiTE Gaming a 100-point lead, and now he's got streaks to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, he can definitely use these streaks and just almost put this game away. And this is the type of stuff we see from Saints all the time, just dominating inside the hill with the slaying power, making huge plays, and also outside, roaming around, just picking up kills.
What do you feel he's stronger in? I mean, I think I'd rather have Saints outside the hard point.
Yeah.
If I have Saints on my team and I'm inside the hard point, I don't have to worry about a thing. You see Saints constantly lighting up the kill feed. I mean, you could probably jump into a hard point, go to the bathroom, take a quick piss, come back, and still be alive.
I mean, you know who he's extremely comparable, I mean, to the way Miracles is playing right now with Curse. Miracles not really playing in the hard point. He's just super aggressive, and I mean, quick reaction time, great shot. And I mean, they're just players that when you have the hard point, you just push them out and just let them keep flooding the other team further back.
And in 2011, when Saints first came on the scene, John, he won the Breakout Player of the Year award, but Saints, I believe he was in second place in voting.
Yeah, and I mean, he's just a great player overall. I mean, you see him now, he's even rocking an AR. I mean, this guy can do everything.
So now he's just going to roam around, pick up kills with the assault rifle. And yeah, I mean, this is an assault rifle player's favorite map. There are tons of line of sights, tons of obstacles and head glitches to work with as you can pick up kills around the map. Saints does get cleaned up there, and let's take a look at Nameless. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit from this UNiTE squad.
No, Nameless doesn't get enough credit from this UNiTE squad, and he's a player who can really do everything. I mean, there are some times where you see him and Parasite really switch off roles with their submachine guns, you know. Sometimes Parasite will be in the hill, and sometimes Nameless will be outside the hill, and, you know, he can do everything well. He can slay, he can play objective. I mean, he's just another really talented player, which, I mean, UNiTE's an extremely versatile team.
Yeah, we've been saying that since day one when we saw this squad come on to pro scrims. But not only that, Nameless, he's the in-game leader for the squad. He's responsible for putting everybody in the correct positioning, organizing teamers around the map, and, you know, other than that, organizing these team pushes as well.
Yeah, and, you know, another thing that you're seeing a lot of their classes, they have extreme conditioning on a lot of them. But I don't see a lot of trophy systems out of UNiTE either.
I like it too.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, they're really ramping up the pace against this Empire, and it's really working to their advantage.
And if you're being aggressive around the map and the opponent decides to try to throw some grenades at you, you're going to constantly catch them with a grenade in their hand, which is just going to be an easier kill for you, as you see Saints once again just slaying everybody that he sees.
Yeah, that's not fair right there, what he just did.
Like, Ricky, he's in the hard point. He doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of hanging out.
So, Ricky, he's just sitting inside the hard point while Saints is on a 6-kill spree. So, you actually saw UNiTE, they actually called in 2 Hellstorms at the same time, but they recognized it right away. One Hellstorm didn't boost, waited until the other team was off respawn from the first Hellstorm, and then they boosted it in.
Yeah, I mean, it's still probably a waste of some streaks, you know, but they have a pretty healthy lead, so I don't think it's going to come back to haunt them. And I mean, they have a lightning to break this top market.
Not that, they might not need it. As you see, there's only one player for Empire. It's going to be Fax making his way towards the back market, and here come 3 UNiTE members, so they might just overpower him with numbers here, but they are going to use a lightning strike. There goes Fax. In fact, there go a couple players. Even his own teammate Ricky gets taken out from that.
You know, something interesting about the mini-map right there is when you saw Fax rotate, he rotated directly into the hard point. I think if you're the only guy over there and you're going to rotate by yourself, I don't think you can go directly into the hard point because that's extremely predictable. I think you just kind of want to hide out until your teammates can get over there and maybe pick up a kill from behind and really cause some chaos.
Yeah, hide out, take control of one of the cars on either side of the hard point, especially when you know the other team has streaks to use. When you're inside the hard point, there's not really much cover you'd use to try to deflect the score streak away. So if you're heading out, even in top middle, just laying down, waiting for someone from UNiTE to cross into the hard point, just be a nuisance in that spot on that.
Yeah.
If they use the score streak, it's not going to kill you.
No, yeah, absolutely. Because if you go into the hard point right there, and I mean, you pretty much know all 4 members from UNiTE are going to come. You're just kind of standing there in the open. You're really not going to do anything. I mean, if you can just hide behind one of the cars or just delay there, push up top a little bit, wait for your teammates to get up there, then maybe you can make something happen.
And take a look at Saints, 34-16. Unreal job in the slaying there on Yemen Hardpoint. As once again, we're seeing whenever we have a top team versus one of these up-and-coming teams, they've been dominating performance from the top teams.
Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing just dominating performance out of the better teams today. We're just seeing just tons of just slaying power out of everybody. I mean, Saints now with UNiTE just filling in for Parasite today. Tons of slaying right here. And also with Fizzurp and Envy, we saw tons of slaying out of their hardpoint game too.
All right, so another easy victory for the top team here on the first hardpoint, but we're going to a quick commercial break. When we come back, it's going to be some more Search and Destroy on the map standoff.
Alright, sweet, everything cook and curry. Easy.